Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering All's Fair, currently streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. This is season 1, episode 6, and I do declare that this is the best episode out of the season thus far. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Now let's get into this episode. All right, so it's D-Day, y'all. Today is mediation day between Allura and Chase in dissolving their marriage. We see Carrington. She is coaching Mr. Chase to behave while he's giving his answers during this whole deposition. So she was coaching him like, you gotta have to go in there as a sympathetic man, someone that could have sympathy and pity on. She ended up fashioning him up a little bit. First, again, she's making fun of his hair as being this greasy thing. Now, you know what? No offense. For white people out there, they really have to wash their hair every day because it's a greasy buildup. With black people, they gotta wait a little while because doing that every day is gonna dry up the scalp. That's just how it goes. Anyway, she tried putting some chemicals in there, whatever. She was brushing it out and she was going to leave it out, but then she said, no, I'll put that bun back in. Anyways, she added a finishing touch to him by having him wipe his eye with something that she drenched it in wasabi sauce in order for him to get a tear come out of his eye. All right, so everyone's in the meeting room except for Liberty. She's doing arbitration somewhere else. Don't know why she's not there, but we had that discussion last week as to how I feel. And then we also know our other girl is out, the Tiana Taylor. Okay. Chase is the first one to start. And he gives his heartfelt display on how he felt about the marriage and how things were. He felt like Allura was the one that seen him for him at the time, and their love was really innocent and all that good stuff. You can see that there are feelings between the two. Before even Chase started talking, he texted Allura saying, you're so hot, or something like that. She didn't respond. He was looking for a response and she didn't do it. And then it was time for Allura to give how she felt about the marriage and how she didn't realize that she thought she had time to prioritize her marriage, meaning the career was going to come first, and she kept putting off life as far as having children and all of that, thinking that she still had time, not knowing that he felt neglected and all that good stuff. So that was another way to get sympathy from Allura's standpoint. So then we got Miss Alberta Dome, which is played by Miss Lorraine Toussaint. She was the one in the last episode that I was talking about that's been in everything at least since the 80s. Still looks the same. She now goes in for the kill with Allura and talks about some of her past. We talk about different things that, as far as financial wise, what she's responsible and all that good stuff. She has this foundation for a school and all that. We find out that she went to this certain school her junior and senior year. The other years, the earlier years, her mother sent her to this high school that was like a torturing type school to try to humble girls. Possibly she was getting in trouble. I'm thinking probably with a boy or whatever, and her mom didn't know what to do with her. I'm gonna call her a whack-ass mom. Didn't know what to do with her, so she just sent her off to go get disciplined. When her father found out about it, he took her out of that school and placed her into that school. Through discovery of Miss Alberta was poking at Allura, we find out that she did not give out all of her financial what I want to say, financial makings within the prenup. Now, I will say this, as Alora's telling her story as to how she was growing up, we had Carr give some emotions and some sympathy towards her. She really did feel bad for her. I said, wow, okay. And we see that even Chase was feeling bad for her because he never knew that, and Alora never opened that up to him. So at that point, you know, even though Carr was feeling a certain way, it was a win for them. Because now they can question the prenup. If there's a question or they need, or a mistake or whatever, if she did not speak of certain funds that are within the prenup, now they can overthrow the prenup and it's all fair. All is fair right now for Mr. Chase. However, at that point, Alora got emotional and she went to the bathroom. She went to the stall, and then Dina came in after her and said, hey, look, I understand it's a little bit of a loss right now. We still got a lot more steam within us. Let's go. Alora comes out from the bathroom stall and says that she got her period. Then she reveals that she did implant herself with 2 of the embryos 3 weeks ago. But now that I have my period, I know that it didn't take. And Dina said, you know that this is wrong. You know that they can use this, and you have to keep it out of Carr's hand as much as possible. So they go back in, and now it's time for Carr to go in, not so much going for the kill, but now, okay, give it up now. What we want is what we've already had originally, half of everything, plus a percentage of the firm business and all that good stuff. And they were willing to trade, I think, the business again, because the firm. What was it? No. Of course, you know that since these are embryos between 2 people, it's communal property, meaning both Chase and Alora does share it. So they said that they would be willing to give up the 8 embryos if you give them everything else that they wanted. And Alora said, you thought that this was a checkmate situation. And they were like, yeah. Well, she said, well, a checkmate type of position that you would think that you would in mean that you have all the power and hold all the cards. But Alora had to go on and just say it because it was going to get crazy. She said that I already had the embryos implanted in me and I just got my period. They didn't take. So at this point, Chase is getting emotional, like, really? He's shocked and also emotional for Carr. There's a lot of love for Carr there. I think that Chase got caught up in the moment and thinking that for whatever reason, because I was just trying to figure out, okay, so you were the cheater in this whole relationship, and for some reason you think that you deserve all of this crap because you asked for the divorce from Alora. But he had a lot of sympathy for her. So then at this point, the theatrics of Carr was like, oh, we're going to court. That was theft. We can hit you up for manslaughter. Yeah, well, she said, I'll be nice and I'll get you for a manslaughter and all that. Oh, we're going to take everything from you. Chase at this point is like, no, stop this. Is it her name, Althea? Is that what her name is? I forgot. 1 second. Sorry. Alberta was like, look, to Chase, help us do your job. And of course, Dina was like, you moron, I got everything. I have everything on a gold platter for you. Don't F this up. At this point, Dina is called away. Hospice is calling her and telling her it's time to go with Doug. She calls Emerald in and says, hey, I need you to take over for me. And she's like, well, I don't know if I could do this. Beforehand, Emerald wanted to bring out her aces that she did have because Emerald was actually late coming to the mediation. She showed the lawyers, Dina and also Alora, what she found. And Dina was like, that's not how I lawyer. and we're not going to go low and all that stuff. We need to take it to hell. But anyways, now Dina has to go, and she's putting Emerald in charge. And at that point, her and Allura, they speak or whatever, and basically say it's game time. Emerald's up, and she reveals some stuff about Chase. Chase, she found, has emails, and also we find out that Chase has been throwing games due to he has a gambling debt, and this was his way of paying back his debt. And also, in Emerald's back pocket, remember when Carr got arrested for drunk driving? There is video cam of her in the squad car. I don't think that this was told before, but Emerald was an ex-cop. And I know she does things with like forensics, she does all the discovery type stuff, so but I don't remember that being told. But anyways, Carr started spilling everything. She was talking about how she almost could have had her client. I was this close. And if I wasn't this drunk, I could have had him. And she was talking about her gag reflexes on if she... You get the drip. You know? Like, no, I'm not gagging here. She basically said that. And then she started crying, saying, I need a man. I need a Scorpio man. So the unhinged Carr unhinged. She got up on that table. She was trying to rip that video out of Emerald's hand. And she went in on Allura like never before. She said, you know what? Guess what's been happening between me and your husband? Before and even after he became my client, we were... She was talking about how he loved the moans and how his anatomy would get hard. You know, she gets all the graphic over dramatization words and stuff and material to say. Talking about the different ways he would release himself and all that good stuff. We're all adults here, so that's why I'm just like talking this way. And then she goes in for the ultimate kill to try to really hurt Allura. And called her infertile. I have a child and all that stuff. It was a mess. And at this point, even what's her name, Alberta, could not save her. Like, this is too much. Da 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 da. She finally gets off the table, and Chase was like, "I've had enough. No, we're not doing this anymore." As far as this whole divorce thing, as far as him claiming all the stuff that he wants. Next, Carr goes into another room and yells at everyone to get out. This ain't even her. I guess that wasn't her meeting room. I don't think it was. Emerald comes in after her. And at this point, it's time to negotiate. And Emerald plays her cards right and gets into what matters most to Carr. First, what's her name? Carr is just talking about, I'm a single mother and trying to run a business and I'm all alone. And Emerald was like, pot meets kettle. Hello, I'm doing it with 3 boys and single. Look. She talks about when she went to go get her law degree. She went to this school where the women in there did not make her feel welcome and always made her feel like that she shouldn't be there. However, she kept proving them wrong. And guess what? You're doing that and all that. Da 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 da. Allura comes in and she apologizes for not taking Carr with her when she took Liberty and Emerald. Adina did say something during this episode where she was talking with Emerald, like, look, I know I failed her, and I think that I should have told Allura to take Car. You would have been okay. There is something more that she needed. But anyways, Allura apologizes for all that. And I think that that is what Car has been wanting all this time. She hugs and cries with Allura. And then, of course, she comes back to herself like, enough crying. You know, if we were in business together, we would have been at each other's throats. So I think everything worked out for the best. But I think that that was the only way for Car to move on, is if there was an apology. What Emerald did offer is this. Look, you're not taking the business. We can still do 50-50 in monetarily things, and that's that. And what I'm going to do, because I'm on the board of the college or the school that your daughter wants to get into, and I'm going to put a letter of recommendation because it's very hard and very competitive, and I know that you love your daughter. All of that really softened up Car, and that was that on that. I said, wow, that was such a beautiful arc. But it had to actually come to blows like this. We had to actually take the bandage off and scrape at that scab that has been there forever. And I'm kind of glad. I just need to know still, I guess she's not going to go in on her anymore, Alberta, but I just don't get why Alberta is upset with Allura. Whatever. I'm glad that she's a part of the cast or whatever, but we shall see what happens. But after that, Chase, he waits around. It's nighttime. And Allura comes out. Everything's settled. They save the business, all that good stuff. He just gets some money. It's a silent piece, and we just hear music. As she's coming out, she extends her hand to shake it. He takes the hand, and you see him rubbing it, and then pulls her in for this little semi-makeout session. I don't know what this means, but then Allura pulled away. I don't know what this means for them, if it's really over or not, but however, it is over, at least for now. I think that possibly if they worked on things sooner, it would not have gotten to a divorce. There's fault on each hand. I don't think it's equal though, but there's fault. And we could just keep it like that, you know? The ending scene, as only Glenn Close could do. Her Doug is taking his final breaths. She releases him like it's okay. A couple more breaths in, and then he was gone. And she lays on his chest as he goes on to glory. I said, yes, 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 yes. Yes. Great episode from top to finish. I love it. I loved it. I loved it. I didn't think I would. I think this is the first, this is how I'm ranking the episodes. At least episode 6 is top. Episode 3 is next. The other ones, probably between episodes 1 and 2 would be after episode 3. And the other ones are like, eh. But I think we have 10 episodes. So 4 more to see what's going to happen by the end of the season. I'm sure it's going to have to do with something with that body that was found. And we shall see how that ends. I don't know if we'll get the actual mystery solved or not, but it looks like that'll be our cliffhanger by the end of episode 10. Please tell me what you thought of this episode. I thought it was amazing. Miss Sarah, you did your thing. I'd even say that I seen some emotion out of Kim that I didn't think I would. And it was cool to see the things that we're noticing about Allura at this point. Miss Niecy Nash, you did your thing yet again this episode. Yeah, you deserve all the things of the things of the things. Even Miss Lorraine, you did it. Chase, you did a good job too. Matthew, I think his name. Everybody really did an exceptional job this episode. Everybody was on their A game. All right, I appreciate everyone for coming. Like this video, comment, subscribe. And until the next one, peace.
Bye.